Before getting started, I would like to thank Tyler, Steve, and the rest of the team with Norwood Community Television for giving us this opportunity to speak to you, the citizens of Norwood. I am Joe Geers, the current president of council, and I am running for re-election. Whether you are viewing this on cable TV, on NCT's YouTube channel, or on their Facebook page, thank you for taking the time to learn about those interested in serving you, the citizens of Norwood. This year, I am one of 3 candidates running unopposed for re-election. Although I do not have an opponent, I would still like to earn your vote. My plan isn't to bore you with political promises for the next 10 minutes, but rather give you a brief overview of who I am and my experience, and then provide some information about the role of President of Council and some insight into council meetings, procedures, and processes. As I stated earlier, my name is Joe Geers, and I am the current president of Norwood City Council. I am running for re-election to serve another 2 years in that role. I was born and raised in Norwood, and my wife Kate and I live on Kenilworth with our 3 children, Allison, who recently graduated from the University of Dayton, Emily, who attends Miami University, and Joseph, who attends St. Xavier High School. I'm a graduate of Purcell Marian High School and hold a Bachelor of Science degree in Public Administration and a Master's degree in Executive Leadership and Organizational Change, both from Northern Kentucky University. Professionally, I am the manager of a training and quality control team at a local hospital and have served in that capacity for over 7 years. I have also spent about 10 years working in human resources. For 20 years, I was chairman of the booth sponsors at the Holy Trinity Festival. I performed in their annual variety show also for over 20 years, and I served as the treasurer and president of St. Nicholas Academy's parent-teacher organization. And for the last 30 years, I have served as a parade marshal with the Norwood Day Parade, helping to put parade units in order along Ashland Avenue. With regard to my experience as a City of Norwood official, both elected and appointed, I was the former Ward 3 councilman from 2004 to 2005. During that time, I was chairperson of the Streets, Infrastructure, and Public Works Committee, and I was also a member of the Health and Human Resources Committee. I was the clerk of council for 4 terms, 8 years, although not consecutive, serving the city and the citizens of Norwood in that capacity from 2012 to 2013, 2016 to 2019, and 2022 to 2023. I have been the president of council since January 1st, 2024. As a clerk of council, I was present at every regular and special council meeting, literally sitting to the right of the president of council. I called the roll at every vote that takes place during the council meetings. I wrote the official minutes of those meetings. I certified ordinances and resolutions, and I made several points of clarification to make sure all legislative steps were followed during those meetings, as well as adherence to the agenda. But what about the president of council? What does the president of council actually do? The president of council presides over regular and special meetings of Norwood City Council. Our regularly scheduled meetings currently take place the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of the month, beginning at 7:30 p.m. in council chambers at Norwood City Hall. Prior to the meetings, I work with the clerk of council's office to confirm the agenda prior to publication and distribution. Since our agendas are distributed Friday afternoon, it is possible that other pieces of legislation or communications may get submitted after the agenda has already been published. In these instances, it falls on the president of council to make sure these items are added to the meeting agenda. This action takes place during the council meeting during the amendment of the agenda. The president of council also collects all requests to address council. Anyone may come to a council meeting to speak, as long as they complete the form at least 10 minutes prior to the start of the council meeting. Each person addressing council may speak for up to 5 minutes, and the president of council introduces each person prior to their request to address council and monitors their time speaking. During the council meeting, The President of Council directs the meeting, per the agenda, asking for the roll to be called, opening the floor for discussion, and preserving decorum throughout the meeting. In instances when there are public hearings, the President of Council also declares the public hearings opened and closed, as well as acknowledging council entering and leaving executive session when applicable. The President of Council will announce the item that is being considered by Council and ask for the Clerk of Council to call the roll for voting on each matter. The President of Council also directs questions from members of Council to other elected officials, guests, or other city officials present at those council meetings. After the council meeting has ended, the President of Council, along with the Clerk of Council and the Mayor, sign all pieces of legislation that have passed. An ordinance or resolution must have 3 readings prior to the option to vote to pass. If you watch any of the council meetings, you might hear a member of council state, "I would like to suspend the rules and hear all 3 readings of the ordinance." The normal process for legislation is to have 1 reading per meeting. However, with a 3/4 vote of council, they may choose to suspend the rules and have more than 1 reading at a meeting. Every motion on council floor requires a first and then a second before it can come to a vote. With 7 members of council, that means at least 6 must vote in favor of suspending the rules. In some ordinances, such as changing the appropriations, there is an expressed sense of urgency to pass that in 1 meeting. In urgent situations where timelines and deadlines are pressing and there are not enough members of council present to suspend the rules, it might be necessary to call special meetings to have the subsequent readings prior to the next regularly scheduled council meeting. In all instances of City Council and City Council committee meetings, at least 24-hour notice must be provided. There are also things outside of council meetings in which the President of Council participates. The President of Council is a member of the PACE Board. This is the board that oversees Norwood Community Television, or NCT. And I cannot state enough the importance and the significance of having NCT in our community. They are truly an asset to the city and the schools, and I am hopeful to see the continued funding of this resource. The President of Council also has a dual role, acting as Vice Mayor. There were several instances this term in which I filled in for Mayor Schneider to represent the city and read proclamations. The President of Council is a member of the Financial Planning and Supervision Commission. This commission was established when Norwood entered fiscal emergency and will remain in place while Norwood is still in that status. At these meetings, the President of Council votes on financial matters, engages in discussions, and provides a report on City Council to the Commission. Lastly, the President of Council is the chairperson of the Council Committee of the Whole. Committee of the Whole is a more informal meeting in which members of council can address matters that were placed into committee, as well as taking the opportunity to clarify processes and procedures for the regular council meetings. In the past 22 months, Committee of the Whole has worked on a committee survey, laid groundwork for a master plan for the city of Norwood, Norwood's vision and mission statement, new council orientation, and council procedures, just to name a few. One of the items that I enacted as President of Council is to make sure that the Committee of the Whole meetings are a standing meeting, so we do meet the first Tuesday of every month. I would once again like to thank Norwood Community Television for this opportunity, and I look forward to meeting many of you while on the campaign trail. I hope that some of what I shared helped provide you some insight into the role of President of Council and some awareness of the legislative processes and procedures within Norwood City Council. Thank you for watching, and when you are in the voting booth, vote Geers for President of Council on Tuesday, November 4th. Thank you.